This is lesson 8. It's mask tweening. And so I'm going to show you how to create something called a mask. And we're going to move it around the screen and reveal something that's underneath it. So unlike a typical mask that covers our faces, a mask that covers our face hides our faces. But a mask in digital imaging that is over something actually reveals what's underneath it. So here's how it works. We're going to go to and open up file number 8 start. In your handout it said 8A, but it's actually 8 start is what it is. And so opening up that file, we're going to go to let's see, we're going to open up your library, and you're going to see some different objects in your library that have been created for you. The artwork's already done. There's a dark house symbol, and a ghost symbol, and a lighthouse symbol, and a mask symbol, and the mask is just a red dot. The mask is actually going to act like a spotlight. And so here's how it works. You're going to take the mask symbol, and you're going to well, let's see. Let's go up here to our layer, our timeline first, and let's rename these layers. In the top layer, you're going to name mask, and the second layer, you're going to name ghosts, and the third layer, you're going to name lighthouse, because this house is light in color, and then the last layer, you're going to name dark house, because that house is going to be dark in color. So what you want to do is go over to, let's see, let's start with the dark house layer. Make sure that keyframe 1 in the timeline is clicked, and that way Flash won't make a mistake and accidentally activate your object in the wrong layer. I'm going to grab this mask. No. I'm going to grab the dark house and put the dark house in the dark house layer on the stage. So with the dark house layer activated, I drag the dark house onto the stage, and I'm going to just resize it a little bit so that it fits onto the stage. Okay, now let's make sure. Yeah, it's right there. All right, resized. So now go to the lighthouse layer and activate that layer, and make sure that the keyframe in the lighthouse layer is selected, because we're going to grab lighthouse symbol and drag that out onto the stage and lay it exactly on top of the dark house. So we're going to resize it just a little bit to make it fit. And just check it. There, yeah. That's going to make that fit. All right. Okay, now the next symbol that we have are the ghosts. So we're going to go to the ghosts layer, click keyframe 1 of the ghosts layer just to make sure you got it. Then go to the ghosts in the library and drag those out and put them so that they are coming out of the windows. And again, we're probably going to have to resize this just a little bit. And it's okay, you don't have to get it perfectly, but we're going to line those ghosts up along where the windows are. So the last thing we're going to add is the mask. So we're going to put that mask up here, maybe in a starting position, and make sure that it's, I've just resized it just a little bit. It's just a red dot. Now, what I'm going to do is decide how long I want to make this movie, and just for the sake of this demonstration, perhaps 60 frames long. So I'm going to go to Insert, Timeline, and Frame, and Insert, Timeline, Frame, Insert, Timeline, Frame, Insert, Timeline, Frame. But the one object that's going to move in this movie is going to be the mask. So I'm going to change frame 60 into a keyframe. Insert, Timeline, Keyframe in 60. So it has a black dot. Okay, now I'm going to set the positions of the mask. So the starting position can be, let's see, I'm going to click keyframe 1 to mark the starting position. Start it right there. Then 10, I'm going to insert a keyframe and move the mask over. And then 20, insert a keyframe and move the mask to the right. And then insert a keyframe and just kind of work my way around the house here. Insert keyframe, and then over here insert keyframe. And this movie is going to be a little bit short. Well, maybe not. But the mask is going to tween around on the house, so we have to set the tweening frames. Clicking the whole layer to select it, the whole mask layer, we're going to go to Insert Timeline, and, oh sorry, Classic Tween. Insert the Classic Tween. And now, when I scrub the playback head over, you can see that the mask is going to tween. And I'm going to change its location and make it go down there in the very last frame. So now I have to set up the mask, because if I tested this movie, I would see a red ball flying around over the top of these ghosts. But to turn this mask into an actual mask, you double click this little pink icon right up here to open up Layer Properties and tell it that that layer is supposed to be a masking layer. And then you take your ghosts and just push up with your finger down on your mouse. You see that little bar that appears underneath between ghosts and mask. That's going to mean that the mask is going to cover the ghosts, and the mask is also going to cover the lighthouse. Leave the dark house outside of the mask's control. Do not mask the dark house. Just the ghosts and the lighthouse. Now testing my movie. This is what it looks like.